It's exhausting watching full-grown adults sabotage their lives in predictable ways, reject every warning, and then cry when the wall they sprinted toward full speed finally introduces itself. And instead of owning the impact of their own choices, they rewrite the story. Now it's trauma. Now it's the system. Now it's timing. Now it's everyone else. Anything except for the simple reality that they repeatedly made weak choices expecting a stronger outcome. And because there's pride in dysfunction, now struggle becomes an identity instead of a condition to outgrow. You can't say anything about it without being framed as aggressive, bitter, or projecting. But some of us are tired of stupidity being leveraged as a use of self-expression. But let me give you perspective. Here is the unspoken rule. Never interrupt someone while they are committed to misunderstanding themselves. Meanwhile, dysfunction has a social capital. The more chaotic the narrative, the more attention it attracts. Which is why I can't be the only one who recognizes that emotional sensitivity has moved to the highest form of moral value, where truth is negotiable and now logic obviously is optional. And you know what? It saddens me that we can't quite use the word stupidity anymore because we live inside of a collective that will rather protect emotional sensitivity than intellectual honesty.
What's happening? What's going on? Let's get this quick. People are disciplined in dysfunction. I was looking for that clip, so it took me a minute. But you get in society, and now what I see is a lot of times people self-sabotaging. And struggle and self-sabotage are not the same thing. So struggle is something that happens that's outside of your control. Self-sabotage is you being the problem. And what I see is a lot of people who are they're self-sabotaging themselves to have a struggle. And I don't know why I don't understand. Like nobody's gonna take that serious. Like you did that to yourself. Like there's a difference between a person who actually got in a car accident and a person who actually got drunk and got in a car and got in a car accident. It's not the same thing. They can't both go, I'm traumatized by the car accident. No, you are if you got drunk, you're the reason, right? So what I see in our society is people wanting to be rebels, wanting to be rebels so bad. And I want to do what I want. And there's a discipline in that you don't want to be disciplined and structured and putting your life in the right in the right order, right? But what you want to do is, and there's no nice way to say this, you want to be disciplined acting a fool. And I see this from time and time again. And what happens is, okay, I ain't gonna be nice. A lot of y'all are like my community. Let's do that one. A lot of y'all are glorifying the 80s, 90s, and 2000s to the point that you're gonna sabotage your life. Like just on a black scenario, y'all, I don't know what happened, but y'all need to stop making black synonymous with dysfunction. Y'all are out here acting dumb for no reason, getting yourself in situations for no reason. Like when I was younger, you know, prime example. I was in a car, it was like 12. I think I was 12. I was driving in the car with my uncle, he was speeding. We got pulled over, the cops had a gun to me, to my face, right? Through the window. I was asleep. I didn't freak out because I was used to that for one, but my uncle was hard headed because we were late going somewhere, and I told him we was gonna be late, and he didn't want to listen, so he decided he gonna speed, and then we get pulled over, right? that's not a black issue per se. It was an issue that became a black issue because I'm black, he's black, and I'm black, and he's just doing stupid stuff. But at that same time, maybe a few years, maybe 2 years later, maybe I'm about to get arrested for walking out the front door. Literally, that's like if people go, "What's the rest of the story?" That is the story. Like I walked out of the front door, the cops was sitting on the at the curb. I don't know I don't even. I have no idea what the hell was going on. I'm locking the door. I turn around, the cops coming, and the people in the neighborhood like, "What are y'all doing?" Basically, so that's a black issue because it's in a black neighborhood. That's a lot of y'all don't know the difference. So I say that to say, a lot of y'all are disciplined at making yourself a target for quote and trying to make yourself a target. And then say it's racism in this scenario. Too many of y'all smoke weed in the car. You're not getting pulled over just because you're black. You're getting pulled over because you're stupid, and not being black, they're gonna throw some extra charges at you. But you did it yourself because you got disciplined. You're disciplined in doing dumb stuff. um, Let me make a reference. Like when I was in college, I went to two HBCUs. So a lot of people comes to this realization when they hit a certain age. I'm grown. I could do what I want, and y'all get disciplined in doing what y'all want, and what y'all do is dumb. So I don't have to get up and go to school now because I'm grown. Okay, you don't. You're gonna get kicked out of school, and then it's it's because I'm black. No, you at HBCU. It's not because you're black. It's because you're stupid. There is no reason why you were disciplined. You made you made your own schedule because you grown. You made your own schedule. You knew what time your classes was, and you still didn't go. And now you're getting kicked out of school because you failed. There you go. And you were disciplined at that. I'm not getting up. I'm gonna go kick it. I'm gonna go party. I'm just gonna be up all night. I'm just have fun because I'm grown. It's like, yeah. You did that. You did that. But what I see now is people um purposely, they keep doing this type of stuff. It's no getting around it. They keep doing dumb thing after dumb thing after dumb thing after dumb thing. And for me, and there's no nice way to say that, but um I'm tired of y'all trying to being black and blaming it on being black. Y'all don't have a black experience. Too many of y'all don't have a black experience. Y'all trying to create a black experience by being as ignorant as you can, and then saying that's a black experience. That's not a black experience. You know, if you go out and cause a problem somewhere, and then people respond and you act cutting up, and you go, that's because I'm black. That's not a black experience. It's a black experience when you walk into a place and they give you trouble just on sight. You didn't do anything. You just walked up and they, you know, we don't do this and we don't do this and we can't do this and we don't want to do this and we don't do this and you can't come in here. Fine, bye. That's a black experience. It's not going into a place, messing up stuff. That's not. Um, boy, I was about to. um, Sometimes I don't want to say what I be thinking, so y'all gotta excuse me. Let's take this for example. A lot of y'all, I say it now, a lot of people have a drug problem now. A lot of y'all have a drug problem, and you have your drug problem is based, I got anxiety, I got this, I got that, it's da 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 da. And you don't realize the people that you were glorifying back in the day that had drug and alcohol problems, they were drinking drugs and they were drinking alcohol and doing drugs because they had issues. And because they had issues, it might look cool to you watching them from afar years later, but you don't realize the people around them didn't like how they acted when they were on those drugs or drunk. it wasn't cool. It wasn't like a thing. So what happens is now what you cats do is, you know, you don't realize that. Let me since people like to do the streets, the street references. People weren't supposed to get high in the streets back in the day because it threw you off. You didn't know if because you got to understand it's not a good thing to be high or drunk doing something illegal, knowing that the cops are lurking, knowing that um, you got drug addicts trying to take advantage of you, and you got enemies out there. It's not a good idea to just walk around. That's horrible. But what happened was a lot of people couldn't handle that lifestyle that was in that lifestyle, so they got high because of the pressure, because of the stress, you know, because that's not something they should have been in the first place. So now y'all looking at people who were getting high because they were scared of what was around them, and y'all glorifying how they acted, and y'all don't understand they weren't made for that. That's like let's just do this. It's like the equivalent. You couldn't go to the military and be and go to war and just be out in the field with your um, battalion or brigade and be high while everybody else has got to be on point. That is not a good idea. They get wasted after all that stuff. They do, but it's not a good idea to do that because you're going to get somebody jammed up. But a lot of y'all use drugs predominantly now, but drugs and alcohol as a way to 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 mask the anxiety of being a rebel. But you're disciplined in being a rebel. You're disciplined in not following instructions. You're disciplined in self-sabotage. You're disciplined in all the vices that come with it. But you're undisciplined in doing the right thing. So what happens is a lot of y'all act like, oh man, I'm just I'm free and I'm trying to do me and I'm doing this. No, you just disciplined in doing dumb stuff. And then you get upset when it's like, oh well, I have to do adult stuff and I can't function in these ways. You could. It's the same amount of discipline. It's the same exact amount of discipline. That's why nobody feels sorry for y'all. Because it's not, like I said, it's not a struggle. It's self-sabotage. It's not like you came from this kind of environment and these things kind of shaped you and now you got to break those habits. No, it's you came from this type of environment and you wanted to make yourself like you came from the other type of environment. So you self-sabotage yourself into a point where now you got to dig yourself out of a hole you dug for yourself. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. They're just going to look at you like you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to leave it at that. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.